So you've got a website idea and you're ready to go, but you don't know how to implement it. I mean, how do you even make a website, and what are some of the other steps that are required or necessary to develop your website? In this video, I'm going to be covering a couple of the steps that I like to take when I'm creating a new brand account or a new website. This is particularly great if you have some sort of new niche idea and you want to get it off the ground, but you don't know where to start. Okay, so here I am on my Mac, and I'm gonna open up Chrome. The very first thing that I want to do is create a user profile for that particular browser, because I'm going to be saving a lot of passwords and usernames and extensions and bookmarks, and I want those all to be in one place. So this is how you create a new user profile in Chrome. You would go here to this little picture, this little icon here, you would click it and go to Manage People. Then you would click Add Person. You would type in the name of the brand or just the user account that you want. This is not your personal name, but it's really the thing that you're managing. So for this instance, I'm going to be creating a website called Monolith Mountain Bikes. That's the name of the brand or the website that I want to create. So I'm going to click Add Person. Click OK. Okay, so now you just go through the next steps. Click Get Started. I'm going to uncheck YouTube, uncheck Maps, keep Gmail open, click Next. And yes, I do want all the information, the bookmarks, the passwords, all that stuff to be saved into this account. Now it wants me to sign into Chrome. Obviously, I'm creating a brand new email address for this username. So I'm going to click Create Account. I'm going to put my first name, my last name. Alright, so now you just put in whatever your store name or your website name is that you want it to be. So if it were cookies.com, you would put like cookies@gmail.com. Well, that's obviously going to be taken, but you know, whatever your domain is. A neat trick I discovered to kind of secure the email address of whatever I wanted was to say, if you did want to open up a website that was called cookies.com, you would put cookies dot and then something else.com. Like cookies.shop.com or cookies dot and then your first name.com, or maybe like an umbrella brand for all of your e-commerce shops or your affiliate shops. In my case, I'm going to do, because I'm sure that monolithmountainbikes@gmail.com is probably taken, so I just added a little something there. So now the password. Click Next. Okay, so in this particular case, I guess we got a little lucky because it said the phone number is optional, but sometimes you're going to run into issues where they're going to want to verify your phone number, and that's fine if your phone number hasn't been verified with that many email addresses. But if it has been verified with like 10 email addresses, it's going to give you a problem. It's going to say, no, you cannot create a new email address associated with this phone number. There are ways around it though. Stick around because I'm going to have a video soon on how to bypass Google's phone verification process when you're creating a new email address. Okay, so I am going to put a recovery email address. I'm going to put my birthday. I'm going to put rather not say because it's not a person. And click Next. Okay, great. So now we have an email address that we can use for all of the accounts that we're going to create with this brand. Not only that, but we have a Google user account so that all of those passwords and those bookmarks that we create, we can keep them all in one container and we don't have to kind of muddy up our personal Chrome account. Okay, great. So we're ready for the next step, which is purchasing the domain from your domain registrar. I like to buy all my domains from namecheap.com. That's just my preference. I'm really used to them and I really like their service. So that's what I'm going to go for. So namecheap.com. We're going to search for the domain that we want. By the way, I've already verified that this domain was not taken, so we can just go right along. Oh, whoops. .com. Sometimes I want to mention this, by the way. If you're buying a domain from Namecheap or maybe a few of the other ones, you can see that this domain isn't taken, but they're still pushing a different extension here. And if you see this, you might think that the domain is already taken, but it's not. Just type .com or .net or whatever you really want, and then it'll tell you, all right, so it's not taken, because you know, sometimes it'll give me like a .nyc and it'll be more expensive. So I just figured that they're pushing a slightly higher premium domain name because you didn't specify. Well, just always put the domain extension when you're doing your search. You'll be happy. So I'm gonna click add to cart, but before I purchase this, I actually want to show you what it looks like. So right now we're gonna go to monolithmountainbikes.com, click enter, and you'll see the same thing. Does not exist. So this is what Monolith Mountain Bikes looks right now. My internet service provider could not find anything for it, but it's giving me some ads. Okay, great. So now I'm going to go ahead and log into my Namecheap account, and I'm going to purchase. Oh, here we go. So here we see the first instance of how Chrome is trying to help us save some usernames and passwords. So I'm going to click save, and remember that this username and password that I just saved is specifically for this user. So if I look at people, there's 2 users here. You know, if you want more, you can add person or do the method that we did earlier by going to manage people. But this password that I just saved for Namecheap account is not going to be the password for this account here. It's going to be for this one. So again, if we bookmark this website and we go to our other account, we're not going to see that bookmark. This bookmark is just for this new brand that we're creating. So I really like doing that. It keeps everything really in order. Okay, now we're going to click on domains so we can go and purchase that. Click search. Remember to add the .com extension at the end. Click add to cart. I think it's already in the cart. I'm going to click confirm. I'm going to continue. It's asking which payment method I want to use. I want to use the same one that I've always used. And here's our total. It's going to be $9.06 for the first year. And then they add 18 cents for the tag. Oh, I'm sorry, for this fee. But every year after that, it's going to be $10. So that's not a bad deal at all. I'm going to click pay now. It's going to go through a couple of steps. Okay, great. Thank you for your purchase. Now I want to show you what it looks like. Now if I go to monolithmountainbikes.com, what we should see is a new page. And there it is. So this is what it looks like now that this domain is registered with namecheap.com. So before it was this, and now after we purchased the domain, it's this. And we're going to go through a couple more of those in just a little bit because we have to connect our domain name with our hosting provider. So that's actually the next step. So we just purchased a domain name through Namecheap, and now we have to connect it to our web host. So I personally choose HostGator all the time because I like their pricing. There's tons of others out there that you can use. Of course, SiteGrounds is really good from what I hear. I don't go for them because it's a little pricey, and I already have a HostGator account with a baby plan. That's the name of it. It's called Baby Plan, and it allows me to have unlimited websites hosted. I mean, how can you top that? And the price is not bad either. I don't have an affiliate code to give for any kind of discounts or anything like that. So I'm sure if you Google affiliate code discount HostGator, someone will hook you up. But for now, let's just push through. So like I said, I already have a HostGator account, but I'm going to take you through the steps of how you would purchase an account. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to click get started. Okay, so here are the plans that we can choose from. The hatchling plan is like, why would you want to do this? One domain, why? The baby plan gives you unlimited domains, which is, I mean, you have one or you have unlimited. What are you going to do? And then you have the business plan. We don't need that stuff. We just go for the baby plan. So I'm going to click buy now. All right. So here it wants you to register a domain because what it wants to do is to sell you a domain from them. We already purchased one, so we don't need to worry about that. Unless you haven't, of course, in which case you would enter your domain that you're looking for and it'll check if it's available. And then you would have that domain registered through HostGator, not Namecheap. It makes things a little bit easier, but it's not the route that I take. I always buy it from Namecheap. I just like it better. I'm going to click I already own this domain, and then you would type in the domain that you purchased from somewhere else. So I'm going to type in monolithmountainbikes.com. I'm going to choose the baby plan. I'm going to pick a username. There's a random username that I picked, and pick a security pin. Let's say 2314. And then you would put in your email address, all this information, your payment information, add-ons. So this is a little bit tricky because it sounds like, oh, by the way, man, they really try to sell you a lot of stuff. For $2 a month, having your website automatically backed up in a bad gig, but you can do it on your own for free. And protect your site from hackers. That's like, there's a lot of plugins that'll do the same thing. Build annually. See, we just saved $20 and a coupon code. So if you have a coupon code here, you would enter it. I think it automatically threw us a coupon code in here for no reason, which is great. Did we do it for 1 year? No. I want it for a year. So this is how much we would be paying for the year. Okay, so once you filled out all of the information on this page, again, I'm just not going to do it because I already have an account, but you would click checkout, and then it would send you an email address to the email address that you had put in up here. And the email will contain the information that you need to access the portal. So portal.hostgator.com and the cPanel. So this is me logging into my portal right now. And once you're logged into the portal, this is basically your HostGator account. This is not where you go to control your website. This is not where you go to control this. This is where you go to control your payment and stuff like that. So to access the website and all the things that we need to open up the cPanel. The cPanel is where you edit everything. And you can access it in two ways. You actually should have received 2 emails from HostGator, one with the information of your portal account and another one with the information of your cPanel account. And you can access the cPanel through the automatic email address that they generated for you, or you can just go to your portal account if you don't want to remember 2 different passwords, and from your portal you can click launch cPanel. Okay, so we're at the cPanel right now, and now the first thing that I want to do, I'm gonna scroll down over here because this is where our websites live. This is the name of the server that is serving our website to any clients that come into it. That's the name of it, and we're gonna take that, we're gonna click command copy, and we're not done with Namecheap because we have to go back into Namecheap. We have to go to the website, we click manage, and right here where it says name server, click on custom DNS and paste, and then paste again. Make that to 2. So what you're basically doing is taking this and this. Keep note, by the way, I pasted twice, but I did change this from 1 to 2. I'll show you that again. 1, 2. So these are 2 different numbers. I pasted twice, but then I changed it. Don't just paste it 2 times without changing that number. So I'm gonna click check, and what this is doing is telling Namecheap that if someone goes to mountainbikes.com, remember here, instead of going to this parked page, I want you to forward that user to this server. So the user, instead of seeing this, it'll bounce from here and it'll bounce over to the HostGator hosting server. Okay, so now that we did this, now that we told Namecheap where we want to send the users when they go to this website, we have to go back to the cPanel and go to here, add-on domains. We click on add-on domains, and then we tell HostGator, hey, there's a website that we are routing into our server, so I want you to be aware of this. And there it is. So monolithmountainbikes.com is the new domain that we want to add to our account. As soon as you click away click here, it'll auto-populate these sections. By the way, if you don't add the .com or .net extension, it'll just say this is not a valid domain. So if you're looking at this and you're clicking add, and it wouldn't do anything, it's because you need to add the whatever. So now that I have this in there, this in there, this in there, I don't want to create an FTP account right now. I don't need to do that. And click add domain. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, great. So it says Monolith Mountain Bikes has been added to your account. So whenever a user goes to monolithmountainbikes.com, it's going to go first to Namecheap. It's going to route the user over to the hosting provider, which is HostGator. And then from there, the user is going to be able to see our website, what we're going to create in a little bit. Now let's take a look at what the website looks now that it's routing over to a different service altogether. I'm using kproxy.com, by the way, which is a proxy website. So what it does kind of like masks you, and it'll show you the website the way that the world sees it, not just the way that you are seeing it on your browser or on your geographical region for whatever reason, because your website might get cached and it might look like this for an entire day, but everyone sees it fine and you're freaking out because you think your website's broken. It's possibly because your website's just cached. Okay, so using kproxy.com, I was able to see that our website, monolithmountainbikes.com, currently looks like this. This is because when it bounces from Namecheap, goes to HostGator, and then HostGator sends the user to a particular folder on our server, which is just this. This is it. There's nothing in here. This is what a website really looks like, because a website is just a collection of folders, more or less. So there's nothing here. That's fine. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to add something there. At this point, we can close the Namecheap tab. I definitely want to bookmark our cPanel because we're going to be accessing that quite often. I definitely want to bookmark our billing portal because it's very important also. I'll close that now and that. What is the next step now that you added the domain? The next logical step is creating a WordPress site, installing WordPress onto your website. Now you could do others technically, but don't just use WordPress. Yeah, I can't tell you the amount of times where a friend has come to me and said, hey, can you help me out with my website? I need it to look like this, I need it to look like that. Can you do some custom code? And they have a Wix site or a Squarespace site, and I go in there and I just can't do anything because it's extremely restrictive. Now that we're on the success page, I'm going to click create a website. And now it's going to ask, what domain do I want to install this version of WordPress on? The domain that I want to install this version of WordPress on is monolithmountainbikes.com. I'm gonna leave that empty. Oh, by the way, do not use any of these things. It is just a cash grab. $400 to do all these. So we're gonna do this right now. That's one of the features that they're advertising. It's something that you're gonna do when you click this button. It's silly. It's nonsense. It's a money grab. Don't. So click next. Blog title is the name of our website. Admin user is yourself. First name, last name. Email address. I'm going to use the email address that I've been using for this particular brand account that we created. There it is. So all the update emails and everything like that's going to go here. And again, remember, the purpose of creating this new user and this new email address is to have everything for this brand in one bucket. And I'm going to check the terms and conditions and click install. It's going to take no more than a couple of seconds. And there you go. Here's my username, my password. Keep in mind that this password is all kinds of random numbers and letters, and it'll always be like that for WordPress the first time. You have to manually go in there and change it to make it something coherent that you could actually remember. And also, this information should be emailed to you right here. So HostGator just sent me an email, and it's telling me that that is my username and my password. So if you ever forget, you can just go into your email address and see it right there. So right now you should have at least 3 emails with your username and password for your cPanel, your username and password for your HostGator portal, your username and password for your WordPress account, and maybe somewhere down there the Namecheap account that you created. That one probably won't have your username and password on it, but it's an email that, you know, an introductory hello email from Namecheap. Now we can go ahead and log in, but first, before we log in, I want to show you now, this time, what our website looks like. So remember, first our website didn't look like anything. Then it was routing to namecheap.com. Then it was directing us to our server, where it has a empty folder. And now what it should look like is, so now this is what our website actually looks like. It's a coming soon page. What we confirmed right now is that WordPress is successfully installed on our website on our server. So we went on a little journey right now. We went from this to this to this to this. Okay, and now we're gonna go for one last step because we're gonna log into our WordPress account. By the way, my light has been turning on and off, and I'd just like to know what you guys prefer. Do you like the blue light, or do you like it when it turns off and it's just the yellowish, more warm light? I like the blue. I think it looks pretty cool. But let me know in the comments, please, because I'd want to know. Okay, great. So we are on our dashboard. I'm going to X that out, X that out, X that out, X that out. I'm going to X out everything, and I just want a clean, clear page. So I'm going to open up the screens and uncheck everything. Good. Nothing. There's nothing on here. It wants me to enable Google Analytics. We'll do that in another video. And then this site is displaying a coming soon page. Click here when you're ready to launch. Well, I'll do you one better. I'm going to get rid of this page entirely because I'm going to go into the plugins and I'm going to get rid of the plugin that's causing this coming soon page. So right now, all I want to do is one more thing. I want to go into our plugins and delete a bunch of the plugins that I know that I'm not going to be using. To uninstall plugins, you have to deactivate them first. So I'm going to check this one here to deactivate in just a moment. Jetpack to deactivate in a moment. Mojo Marketplace, which is what's causing this. And Opt-in Monster, because I'm not going to be having a need for that plugin right now. And WP Forms Lite, I'm not going to need it right now. So I'm going to click on this, click deactivate, apply. And now all of those plugins are going to be deactivated. And I'm also going to check all the ones that were deactivated and delete them. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, great. So now let's go to our dashboard, and you can see that this thing is pretty much clear. We lost a couple of those plugins that were bugging us over there that we weren't going to need anyway, we weren't going to use. And now, maybe more importantly, because this is the final like curtain unveiling, our website is using by default this theme, the 2019 WordPress.org theme that comes standard with WordPress. So I'm going to show you that theme right now. Now that we deleted the plugin that was causing this, finally we get the final unveiling of our website. And there it is. There it is. Monolith Mountain Bikes, just another WordPress website. Hello world. That is the first step of creating this brand account that we're going to be building in the future. And again, remember that the bookmarks that we have here are exclusive to the account that we created when we went to manage people and created a new person, etc. So yeah. Okay, so there we have it. We're done for now. So what we did today in this video is we created a new user profile on our Google Chrome browser so that it could store all of our data like passwords and bookmarks, etc. Then we created a new email address for that brand that we wanted to work with. Then we purchased a domain through Namecheap. Then we created a HostGator hosting account and purchased a plan so that we could host our website on it. And then we went back, connected Namecheap to HostGator and vice versa. And then finally, we installed WordPress and logged on and deleted a couple of plugins so we could actually see what our website really looks like. And this is basically a snapshot of the journey that we went through to get to our website. Look like this. Of course, we're going to have a lot more things going on this website, but for now, this is what it is. Okay, so that concludes this video. If you found any of this information helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm gonna have some more stuff like this in the future. At this time, I only have like 3 subscribers. One of them is my girlfriend, doesn't really count. So, okay, thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.